you want your finances on a lockdown in 2026, like you want to master your money, this video is for you. So what changed my finances was not earning so much overnight. No, it was adopting a set of rules. Like these rules, I swear by them. They're simple rules, though. They are very common, but trust me, they will force your money to behave differently. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing these money rules with you, and trust me, walai tala, if you adapt just few of them, hi, 2026 will definitely be your best money year ever. And me talk am. So let's dive in. But if this is your first time in our finance community, welcome. I'm financial Jennifer, an investment banker, a chartered accountant, a chartered stockbroker, a licensed dealer in the Nigerian stock market. But most importantly, the lady that will hold you by your neck, because 2026 is that year we do the most with our finances. So if you have not hit the subscription button right away, don't worry, we love it here. Rule number one that I have adapted that like the game changer for me is one, my investment is first. What do I mean by this? Yes, you hear it all the time, pay yourself first and all that. How I do this is that whenever I get paid or whenever I get any income, be it from the things I do, the classes I host and or from my salary as an investment banker, first of all, my investment account is going to land. Like when the money comes into my regular account, I'm moving that portion that I know I'm investing away to my investment account. It can be my brokerage account. Like I use an app, Afrinvest 2.0 for Nigerian stock and some investments and others. I use Optimus by Afrinvest for some other foreign investments and all. It depends on the one I'm doing that month. I'm doing a transfer to those accounts before I can now come and begin to ask, oh, what am I eating this month? How much am I removing for my rent and all that? This way, you are not leaving it by chance, because what happens is that adulthood billing is plenty. Your billings know the end. By the time you finish paying for this, paying for that, you may not even remember, or there might be nothing left. Not even remember. You could remember, but there could be nothing left for you to save or invest, right? So this has been a powerful one for me. The thing is that we are human. Even me, I still with money sometimes, but knowing that I have done the needful, like that's like the game changer for me. Knowing that I have done the needful, right? So that is what you could promise yourself, that going forward, first decide how much is it that you want to take out, right? So that when let's say your salary and when your salary hits, you remove that one first. Or if you're a business owner, you can tell yourself that every month I'll remove so amount from my business account to my investment account. Some of you will be like, which one is business account, which one is investment account? There's a video we have here. I think the top 5 investments you need for Nigerians, right? There are different, your investment account, your brokerage account, your emergency fund and all that. I'm going to link that video in the description, right? Or go and check on the community, you will see it there. You need some of this account to like streamline your money, right? But please, this rule, that is a personal rule I made for myself, but this is be the game changer for you. Number 2 rule, or something I tell myself, is this: it is easier to make more money than to try to cut out every expenses. Yes, you want to live below your means, right? You want to save costs as much as possible, but the truth is that there is a limit to what you can cut down. Even if you decide that, no, I will not be entering Uber again, I will start using bus and all that, that is still there. You will still pay money for bus, right? You decide that, no, I will stop eating out, I will start cooking food in the house. Of course, that would help you a lot. You will save some money, but there is a limit. Today, you are spending 10K on food. Tomorrow, you have somebody else, or you have additional stomach you are feeding. The price will still go up. So, yes, it's good to cut costs, but I try not to spend all my day trying to see where do I cut costs. What, let me even spend that energy on making more money. The truth, I feel like it's even easier to make more money, right? If you already have a job, you can sit down and say that, oh, 2026, I must grow my salary for like maybe 10% or 15%. What is going to get you there? Are you going to ask for a promotion? Are you going to go and look for extra job or new job, something like that, right? These are easier. If you're a business person, it could be like, should I add money to my marketing expenses? Let me increase my marketing, because once you increase your marketing, and all things being equal, it should increase the money you are making, right? It can be like, oh, I want another source of income. I want to be able to like have multiple sources of income, start a side hustle. These things are easier to do than trying to cut out everything. Yes, like I said, it's good to cut out, but it's way easier if you could make more money. And that is even one of the reasons why in this year's Money Years Workshop, 2026 Money Year Workshop, the 2 things we are focusing on is the best investment for 2026. I'll be going to share them with you. The investment I believe we do so well this year. And very importantly, how do we make more money? We are going to look at maybe business ideas. How are people building multiple streams of income? We look at these things to give you ideas on more things you could do to make more money. So yes, I'm always in the mind of how do I make more money? How do I make more money? How can I expand the money I'm making? Because I believe in abundance, right? But the fact that you are making a lot of money doesn't mean you should be spending anyhow. Yes, you should still watch your expenses, but I don't let that, like, I don't dwell on that. I rather dwell more on making more money. Rule number three I live by: budgeting for enjoyment. Budgeting for enjoyment. Yes, budgeting is very important, but what many people do, they just put it strictly on their needs. They just budget for the key things, and then what will they do tomorrow? Tomorrow they will go and be spending money on the things they do not budget for. How now? How now? So I have been very intentional with myself, knowing that if I'm preparing my budget, whether I'm writing it on pen and paper or I'm doing a mental math, I know that okay, every month I'm probably going to watch movies. I love cinemas a lot, right? I'm always capturing that, or I'm going to eat out, or I'm going to travel. I love to travel, so I actually have an investment portfolio for traveling, right? This way I'm not dipping my hand anyhow into money meant for other things to spend on that. So what I want you to do going forward, expand your budgeting. Be very realistic with your budgeting. If there are some random things you feel like you spend money on and there are things you cannot cut out, include them in your budget now. What is going to be like, a budget cannot tell you that, see, babe, you cannot do this 12 times in a year. You can't do it monthly because you do not have enough money. What you can now do, like, okay, maybe can we do quarterly? Because when you're looking at it on paper, you're looking at your budget, it's telling you the truth, right? So start to include some of the things that you know you will still spend money on, but you not include in your budget. It gives you a more holistic view. Rule number four I have, this one is when it comes to spending money, my focus is on quality. My focus is not really on, is it that, where is the cheaper one? I want to buy the cheapest one. Okay, there are actually things I could do that. Let's say something like, if I want to buy, what is something that is not actually no different? Something like water. Where is the cheaper one? There's some water, like water packs that they sell like 5,000 something. The water packs they sell 2,000 something. Most times you see that people are paying for the branding, right? So my rule with when it comes to buying things, it's I buy based on quality, not the brand name necessarily, and not based on maybe is it cheap. Because when you keep going for cheap things, that means you buy that thing multiple times over and over, because they will keep spoiling. Let's say it's a shoe, you buy this shoe, 2 months later the heel has pulled off or something, you're buying another one. But there are shoes you buy like 2 years, 3 years, they are still there, right? So I'm looking at the quality, and when I'm buying that shoe, I'm not buying it, oh, is it Louis Vuitton? I'm not buying it based on, is this what are all these big brands that are expensive? No, I'm buying it based on quality. There are brands we do not know, but their quality is nice. What has happened is we are being charged premium for the brand name. There's nothing wrong with that, because after all this money we are making, we are going to still spend it, right? But if that is your thing, maybe that's the way you reward yourself to spend on brands, that is for you. Me, I don't care about brands, right? Yes, of course, maybe some of the brands that are well known, maybe because they are known because of their quality, that is that. Or if I like that product, I'm buying it because I like it. I'm not buying it because let it be like, do you know, I'm wearing Gucci, I'm wearing this one. I don't buy like that. And what it's going to do is that I'm focusing on the quality, and that way sometimes even spend lesser. Rule number five, this one, I don't know if it applies to everybody, but it's something I do personally: no consumption debts. I don't go borrowing. I don't take debt for consumption. You know, there are debts that are actually good debts, right? When you borrow money, maybe there's an opportunity or put it into your business or that. There is that, but that's a different conversation. The debt I'm talking about now, oh, there is an Ashobi. You're going to pay 200K for it. In fact, you know, buying the Ashobi is not the problem. It's the head that will go with it. It's a matching shoe. It's a matching bag. Some people actually borrow money for these things. No, it cannot be me. I'm not coming. I am not coming. I will send you 100K for gift. I will send you what I can afford for gift. Do you understand? I can never borrow money for debt. I know for some people, sometimes they have some emergencies that you have to take care of. Thankfully, I have not had need for that. Number one, I try to build my emergency fund so that when need be, I could, pick it up. But of course, there are times maybe you call a friend for one or two to pay up from one or two. That is understandable. But you see, borrowing for consumption, no, you will not. You never catch me doing that. Rule number six: save for it even before I need it. There are things I invest for. There are things I save for. I don't even need. In fact, there are savings I have. I don't even know why. What are you saving for? I don't even know. But I rather have it before I need it than need it and not have it, right? I'm not married. I don't have kids. But some of my portfolio, some of my stock portfolio, I could tell you Okay, it's for my children's school fees. Do you get? I don't even have kids yet, but I'm already making plans for it. My retirement is not due to like let's say maybe 30 something years. But if I tell you I'm already building retirement portfolio, I'm already investing for that, right? So I have that rule that I don't have a reason before I can save money. I don't have a reason before I can invest money. Yes, it's good to have a goal. Maybe your goal is to start a business, your goal is to japa and then you work towards it. That is perfectly fine. You should do that, but you don't need to. The fact that, oh, I have money somewhere is reason enough for me. The fact that at all, oh, as bad as it bad, my investment is in so figures is something for me, right? So I save for saving sake, I invest for investing sake. At least there's this confidence that comes from it, right? Yeah, that is another rule for me. And then the seventh rule, I think this one summarizes everything I'm about in this community, my personal brand, my business fin tribe, and all. Collective wealth. I believe so much on collective wealth. A lot of the things I do, what is collective wealth? Let me even explain. When you come together, right? When aside just not just you come together with a couple of persons and do something which ordinarily on your own you may not be able to do. A typical example, I think I've told this story before. I think early 2025 or early 2024, I can't remember which one again. There was this land that came up. It was amazing. Like it was about 10 plots. I do not have money to buy 10 plots of a land, but the opportunity was like it was a juicy one. What I did, I entered my circle, babes, how far? Something fell, there's an investment that came up and all that. We came together, 10 of us, we don't did it one plot. It was so simple, it was, seamless. That way, I was able to key into that investment. Even when I couldn't afford it on my own, I would still get the benefit. Another example is like in our community, Fin Tribe, right? Oh, that's even what started Fin Tribe. Because we believe that on your own, you may not have the zeal, you may not have the morale, the ginger, but when you come together, also the part of accountability, right? In Fin Tribe, on the Fin Tribe platform, Fin Tribe is a community of women where we save together, where we invest together. If you're a woman here, God, 2026 should not end without you joining. It's free. It's free. I'm going to leave the link. If you want the link, no problem. I will leave it on the description for you to read and join. We save every month, so we invest and save together, right? So there is another thing we do when there are commercial paper. Commercial paper is a type of investment. Most times it's 5 million. But what we do on the FinTribe platform is that there you can see that commercial paper for 500k, because we know that not everybody has 5 million, but you could still take advantage because sometimes those investments have attractive interest rates more than the ones that maybe you can only afford treasury bill that is 100k minimum. But your treasury bill may not pay you as high as that commercial paper is paying you. So on the FinTribe platform, sometimes we put these things in, we do like 500. If you do have 500k, don't worry, come, we join the money and do it. When it matures, we share the profits, right? It's even the same thing we do with palm oil, because palm oil we come together to invest in it. Things like this, right? Oh, even the last example now. If you remember early 2025, right? I started something. There's a group of a small group of for us. We every month we say we are saving 1 million naira every single month. We are offering tribe members, but these ones they could do 1 million. And other people here, if you want to join us, no problem. We're still on for this year. 1 million savings every month. Number one, we are each other's accountability partner. At the end of the year, we are not looking like 12 million on our own. We may not have been able to save 12 million for that year consistently, but because we inspire one another, right? And that is also the reason you see this money year workshop every single year we have it. Because when you are in the room, 2025, we had more than 4,000 people in that room talking money, talking investment, talking business ideas. What? How can you not be gingered? How can you not be inspired to start doing these things? Trust me, if you have not joined this workshop, it's only 754, but the price will still go up. It's only 754 now. That is less than $5. What are you waiting for? Just comment link. I'm going to share the links to join the workshop in the comment section, right? So there you have it. These are some of the 7 money rules. Of course, there are others, but off the top of my head, I really feel like these 7, they are the reason I'm doing better financially. They are the reason that the Jennifer that used to be a broke chartered accountant is now someone doing better with her money, and not just alone, but inspiring thousands of others. Look at you now. Like that I have not inspired you before. That is it. So I hope that these 7 rules help you. And as we go into the new year 2026, it's going to be an amazing year for us. This is the year that the Lord has made for us. The year we continue to prosper. The year the God will expand every single thing we put our hand in. Our own is to do our part. And we are already doing our part. You are here watching this and you are joining the workshop. Why won't God come true for us? Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to link some other videos in the description that I think you will find helpful. Go check them out and I will see you on those videos.